Welcome to the chapter number 7, wireless modulation techniques and hardware. These are the objectives. Briefly, we introduce transmission characteristics of wired or lined communication or fiber systems. You are already aware of these things: wired line, transmission lines, and fiber optics. Important characteristic of fiber optics: bit error rate, bandwidth, SONET, STS technologies. There are some important categories of propagation waves. Waves propagation below 2 megahertz are called as ground waves. Wave propagation between 2 to 30 megahertz are called as sky waves. Wave propagation above 30 megahertz, they travel as straight lines or rays. Ear interface characteristics with respect to ultra high frequency 300 to 3000 megahertz. There are some important propagation effects: reflection, scattering, diffraction, multipath propagation. So here you can see reflections from objects of buildings, even reflections from ground, reflection from houses, and also line of sight is very important in wireless communication. Indoor propagation models are also seen in this diagram. Even though you have wireless access points, reflections are there with cabins or rooms inside the house. So the path loss, which is derived from received power PR formula, PT GT GR into lambda by 4 pi d square. Lambda is signal wavelength, d is distance from transmitting antenna. If d is 1 meter, then P naught is the signal strength. The PR is P naught by d square. So path loss is transmitted power PT minus received power PR. In the two-ray model, and assuming line of sight between transmitter and receiver, PR is equal to PT GT GR in the bracket HT square HR square by T raised to 4. PT is power of transmitting antenna, GT is gain of transmitting antenna, GR is gain of receiving antenna, HT is height of transmitting antenna, HR is height of receiving antenna divided by distance between transmitter and receiver. Other models I have discussed, like Okumura model, there are some relation between cellular bands and higher frequencies in the urban areas. There is a problem in wireless communication that signal will be faded, and here is a graph which shows between frequency and received signal strength. Variation with 900 to 1100 megahertz is seen, that is called as relic fading. Rapid changes in the path signal or rapid changes in the uh, received signal strength in decibel per meter with different frequencies. Interestingly, you can see it will be high after 900 megahertz. It will be completely reaching to almost zero here in 950, 1050. So it is having varied characteristic with respect to frequency and time delay. When you consider multipath delay, the curve obtained between magnitude and time is almost, you can see, random. The variation is very random. Interestingly, at 350 nanosecond, it is almost reaching zero. Error detection and correction coding is very important in wireless communication. Error control to maintain overall bit error rate is very important. There are some codes like block codes which are used with forward error correction method, and if you lose any transmission packet, it will be retransmitted. That is known as ARQ system, that is automatic repeat request system. Now we are using convolutional codes, turbo codes also. Block code is having parity bits, even or odd parity decides how many number of ones are there. But using block codes, you can only detect single errors. Multiple errors cannot be detected. So that's the big disadvantage of block code. Code word is generated in the form of cyclic code or cyclic redundancy check bits. There are some parity bits are added in the block of 50 bits to transmit in a GSM traffic channel. GSM takes 184 bits over control channel and it takes 40 parity bits. So that's why nowadays the service providers are using convolutional and turbo encoders. If the input is provided and it is followed through delay blocks, and they can take the check bits at any points, and it provides redundancy. Redundancy means strength. Now they are also using turbo encoders. It's a modified form of a convolutional encoder. It is constructed from recursive convolutional encoders connected in parallel. In CDMA 2000, the encoding rates are half, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, and 1 by 5. Now varieties of speech coding techniques are also used. Some of the important speech coders are waveform coders, vocoders. Very important technique that you understood in GSM is block interleaving technique. Block interleaving technique is used to combat the bit errors when during the transmission of a frame. Well, this is a very important for examination point of view. In block coding technique, we have to follow some method. If suppose we have two classes of codes, one is class A block codes, class B is convolutional coding. Initially, suppose we have 260 bits, it is divided into 182 bits of class in one class and 2 with 78. If you add 182 plus 78, it will be 260. Now take out 50 most important bits of class 1 or class 1A with 3 parity bits. Another 78 bits are taken in class 2. Class 1 is divided to class 1A and class 1B and CRC bits. So this is how we can divide. Class 1A is 50 most important bits, class 1B 132 bits, class 2 is 78 bits, class 1A is having 3 CRC bits, class 1B is 132 bits, class 2 is 78 bits. So 78 bits, as you can see here, they will be taken as it is, they will be just transferred. But class 1A and class 1B are divided as, for example, class 1A here, class 1A is divided into 25 and 25. Class 1B is divided into 66 and 66 with 3 error check bits and 4 tail bits. So class A1, class 1A and class 1B are encoded with convolutional 1 by 2 rating. So that is doubling. So 189 bits are doubled into 378 bits plus 78 class 2, it becomes 456 bits. So totally we have 456 bits. Out of 456, 378 are encoded with half rate convolutional encoder. Now you take out all these 456 bits and they will be put in these blocks with some numbers 1, 9, 17, 25 to 449, 2, 10, 3, 11. Randomly you can put in 8 blocks. Then 57 bits are selected for user A, 57 bits are selected for user B, and the 57 bits encrypted bits and 26 training bits are nothing but this normal burst. So what is the burst formation is nothing but in GSM is selecting 57 bits from all these blocks and putting in normal burst, and The 57 bits are put in time slot like this here. So this is interleaving technique. Some modulation techniques like QPSK, GMSK, QPSK with n is equal to 4, OFDM. OFDM is very important for the short notes. It is having 802.11 LAN standard. It's a multi-carrier, multi-symbol, multi-rate FDM. All carriers in FDM are featuring with orthogonality. They will not interfere with symbols will not interfere with each other, 1 and 0 symbols. Then spread spectrum techniques like FHSS, direct sequence spread spectrums, are also very important in wireless modulation techniques. This is frequency hopping technique. Different carrier frequencies are used for sending different information. Then there is a UWB technology that is used. Then there is a diversity technologies which are used, time diversity, space diversity. They will combine the signal at the receiver, that is diversity. One of the important technology used in wireless modulation techniques nowadays is rake receiver, RAKE. So what they are doing in rake receiver, all received symbols are following with or transferred with to delay blocks, and there will be correlators cascaded, and these correlators will be sent to phase and gain adjustments, and later on final summation of received signal will be processed and sent to distant devices. Space diversity, which provides different vertical and horizontal elements that you studied in your antenna technology. Nowadays, MIMO smart antenna technologies are used. Here I am discussing about vertical and horizontal elements here and here. Strongest signal received by the system is used. So this is also introducing polarization. Smart antennas are used. Here you can see vertical and horizontal elements are 45-degree apart, and it is producing spot beams. This is used already in third generation. Pencil beams will be produced, and every beam may be following the mobile receiver or mobile station. Narrow pencil beams. It is smart technology, smart antenna technology. These are some hardware components, how BSC looks, how TRC, transcoder. Transcoder is converting speech to PCM signal. So this is outdoor base station. This is GSM block diagram. Group switch has been seen there. Very important component. Hardware component. T and R units are seen there. RBS, trans receiver unit. Then there will be combiner technologies which are used to combine transmitter and receiver band pass filter signals with a circulator. Circulator, I think from fiber optics. Circulator inputs and circulates to other port like this. So actually this technology is used in D2H, that it is having duplexer. Duplexer means it is having both transmitter and receiver. So this picture is taken from one of the radio base station. If you keenly observe the radio base station, here is this duplexer technology, and that's what this RF duplex filter technology is used here. Transmitter, receiver, and combiner. This is circulator. This is a typical RBS antenna configuration. There are two duplexers unseen, two splitters. These are some pictures of different configurations of RBSs. Operation maintenance terminal is used in MSC. These are some pictures, BSc and RBS of CDMA. So you can't identify the parts. These are some racks just for introduction, and just to have a glance, this will be given in the syllabus. This is 2000 CDMA 2000 RBS subscriber device. If you just see how many blocks are there in subscriber devices, it is already discussed in the, I think, in the third chapter. This is for CDMA.